Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Coming to you live from the outskirts of the internet. This is the Gaming Saloon for May 19th, 2017. We're your host, Peacemaker2448, and Rabbit Epsilon. Oh my god, I forgot the month. I don't know what happened there,
I don't either.
but I was like, this is a national wrestling holiday because it's May 19th. Like, this is one of those wrestling days. For dumb reasons, mind you.
And you screwed it up.
Mm-hmm. For those who want to know, essentially, there's a dumb WWE storyline involving Kane and Imposter Kane, or A Imposter Kane, that was meant to promote his movie See No Evil. It all involved Kane not liking the day May 19th. So, yeah. If you want to hear more, go check out OSW's review, or OSW Review's little video on it on the YouTube. They have a quick little video on it. That was a part of, I forgot what podcast. So yeah, we got a lot to cover today because there's a lot of stuff, including two kind of big things and a lot of smaller stuff, including something I don't even. I literally don't even on that one. Be that third article there, which is legit. I swear.
I don't even then.
So yeah, but first, tell me, what have you been playing besides helping to take care of trade evolutions before we did the show?
I've picked up a little Star Fox 64 again.
How's going back to the really good Star Fox game that everyone remembers?
I remember why I like it, and I also remember why I had chose not to try to speedrun that one.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those, that's one game I kind of don't want to burn myself out on. So it's like, yeah, I'm not doing that one.
That's a game just picked up whenever.
It's like, don't get me wrong. Watching speedruns of it's fun and all, but yeah, I just don't think I could do it. I'd wind up burning myself out on it.
Yeah, and it'd be hard to, like, I would assume at this point, really get the record. Because I have to assume Star Fox 64 is super optimized considering the kind of game it is at this point.
I would have to think so too. Like, I doubt there would be anything hidden at this point.
Yeah. You would pretty much have to come in with a glitch that would literally make you beat a level as soon as you popped into it, or at some point in the middle, and that would be the only way to really drop the time by any significant matter at this point.
Either that or like have frame perfect execution.
Mm-hmm. Well, anything else besides the good Star Fox?
Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Still playing it and attempting to figure out my own methods in terms of speedrunning it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think I'm getting somewhere now, but I'm still hitting a wall where there's like one person on the leaderboard that's easily 40 seconds shorter than like everyone else, and I'm trying to figure out how.
Has he got video up of it?
Yeah.
Do you went side by side on?
I've the only thing I can think is he has a lot more practice apparently,
Mm.
and that's what's showing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know the obvious thing that everyone's going to be like, oh, well, digital versus cartridge. Because, yes, I've got the cartridge version.
Mm-hmm.
But I've actually sat down and mapped it out. The time from the crossing of the finish line to the start of the next course is practically identical between the two versions.
Yeah.
Like, the only time difference might be a second or two between each race.
Yeah. Yeah, we're not talking like Kingdom Hearts 2 loading screens between like the collection version I'm playing and the PS4 version. Because loading screens don't exist in the PS4 version. They just don't. But they
Well,
do exist in my PS3 copy.
and it's also like we're not talking about the Wii U version where there's a significant difference between disc read and digital.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, yeah, that's not what's causing that big gap.
Mm-hmm.
And it's obviously not the cart because, believe it or not, I can use the exact same setup he's got, and I do worse.
Mm.
Like, massively worse.
Mm. Well done.
So that's kind of the hurdle that I've been hitting, and I'm not getting discouraged, but I'm feeling that I'm getting close to my burnout point, so I might need to switch to something else.
Mm. Pick up Chain of Memories and try the speed run of that. I mean,
Oh God.
I think the Riku portion of that speed run is like you grinding for like an hour, getting level ups, and just trying to max your attack points as much as possible.
If it's
Which
not, it should be kind of deal.
probably.
uh,
Anything
now,
else?
I've actually been toying around with the idea of trying to do Breath of the Wild, but at the same time, I'm like, I really don't want to do a Zelda game.
Mm.
Like, that's kind of my. I play it when I just want to goof off.
Mm-hmm.
Not I want to play that to actually try to be productive at something. So I just don't know how that would translate for me.
You could try to find something a little bit more like off the beaten path and see if you could speed run it.
That's been the other thing. I've been hitting that brick wall of trying to figure out what.
Speedrun Mario Party.
No.
That's a thing.
No. Me plus RNG sucks.
Oh. What about the Vegases?
I can't remember if I found anything for the first one or not, but when I tried to, after I went through the ordeal of installing Vegas 2 again,
Mm-hmm.
I realized I suck.
Oh. The whelp.
Because that was actually a thought. I was like, you know what? I could do that. I used to be pretty good at that. Get in the game, die. Welp.
I would say one of the Halo games, but
I think they're pretty optimized.
what about ODST? I think that's the only one I haven't seen a speedrun of.
I don't have it.
Yeah, I'm the only one that has that, and I remember now.
Yeah.
One of the best stories we ever got, and you've never got a chance to experience it. Granted, I can't assume it'd be too far off from what we've gotten for Halo speedruns before.
Yeah. And not to mention if I wanted to do that, unless I wanted to do C or fight to get Halo 2 to install on my computer, I kind of am stuck to just those two because I don't have my 360 anywhere near by right now. Meaning I'd have to dig it out, hook it up, hope the disk drive will work long enough to read the disk. So, yeah.
I keep looking down at my PS2, PS3 collection. I'm like, that's not gonna help, you know? I'm like, nothing there is helping. And also, nothing there is going to really be helpful for a speed run. Because, like, what is it? In order that I can see, it's X-Men Legends 2, a Namco Museum Collection, Okami, Persona 3, Persona 4, Lego Star Wars 1, then 2, Grand Theft Autos 3, Vice City, San Andreas, Fight Night, Round 3, Battlefront 2, Soul Calibur 3, KH1, KH2, and then a bunch of Ratchet and Clank games. And then you skip straight to Resistance 3 because I don't have my copies of Resistance 1 and 2 anymore. I need to buy new copies of those.
To be fair, though, you could speedrun literally almost any of those.
Yeah. The only thing with Okami is just like, I can't imagine how good I have to be at all the paintbrush stuff. Doing all those symbols really quick. No. I have a bad enough time trying to do that at Wonderful 101 sometimes. And I'm doing this on not a fucking gamepad to draw them. Which would have been faster, I think.
Like,
Let's see what.
I'm thinking ultimately it's going to boil down to I'm either going to attempt Hyrule Warriors, but there again I'm going to have to play it for a while before I could get back into the mindset of even attempting that.
Mm-hmm.
Or I've thought about seeing how a Grim Eclipse run would be.
That would be interesting. I don't think many people would do that.
There is some people, though. I don't remember how many it actually had.
Well, every game's had somebody speedrun it at least once, I would think.
Oh, wow. Yeah, not many.
Probably a handful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
Like
anything else?
the no skips category kind of has the most people.
Oh. Okay. No skips? What a dumb skips can you do in that game then?
Apparently, you can unlock chapters at certain points.
Okay.
Yeah, hold on. I'm gonna send you the link to the
Are-
page. I have yet to look into this. Because there again, I've been kind of tossing it around.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
All right. 80% 2-player, 80% 3-player, 80% 4-player. No skips. Okay, there's an 80% 2-player that does have video. Half an hour. Okay. Double Yang setup. All right. Okay, we are already out of bounds in less than 30 seconds. Well then.
Wait, there's an inbounds category too? Hold on here. Then does that mean the no skips can actually be out of bounds too?
Maybe. And we're in the cave in about 40 seconds.
Yeah, I might look into this. I didn't think the game was broke though. Not like that.
To be fair, I don't think Rooster Teeth put like that much effort into making sure it can't be skipped.
Fair, but I didn't think it was that broke.
No one thinks their game can be that broke. It kind of just happens. Okay, it looks like you have to go through the control center fight, no matter what.
Well,
And
I'd
that's
say because that's actually the end chapter mark. Like, I would have to think that you would have to go through those fights anyhow. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to progress. Because I would have to assume it would follow similar principles to how certain skips in Halo is, where you have to hit certain,
checkpoints,
yeah, certain flags, otherwise it won't wind up triggering the next part.
And 3 seconds into the second level, and we are already out of bounds. Christ! Just out of bounds immediately off the bat.
Heck, I might start.
And we flew a little bit, and we are super out of bounds now.
I might start freaking looking to see about that.
It looks like you need max level Yang to. It seems like it's a combination of her special moves that allow you to just clip
Well,
so hard.
seeing as how in the guides there's a Yang all skips / wrong spawns video.
Wait a minute, we have wrong spawns too?
Apparently.
Oh my god. Uh,
I might be interested in that one then. More so for the fact of seeing how broke the game actually is.
Oh. Game not optimized. This is what happens when you don't take the care to sew up every single hole. And sometimes when a game does have a hole, yeah, you can't do anything with it. But anything else?
No, that's it on my end.
Well, I got to play a little bit of Shadows of Valentia when it came in today. I am enjoying the quick little romp I've gone through. I have found out by reading on Reddit that apparently it's good to promote early instead of late due to the growths not being good for for any of the characters in the game. So unless you're doing some weird niche build, if you're just going based off what is the best stats for your characters and picking the class accordingly, just promote them. Just promote them as soon as you can. Which is very not Fire Emblem, but this is a remake of the second game in the franchise, so we're not used to these kind of Fire Emblem games, to be honest. But I like it. I don't know how much I'm going to get to play because of the Kingdom Hearts marathon, which, oh boy, 9 days for 2 games. This is going to be a long one, isn't it? Because I only just started 2 today, and that was 2.5 hours to get through Roxas. I only died once, and it was on Axel because I screwed up. And that was still 2.5 hours. 2.5 hours to get through Roxas. And bear in mind, I am playing every single cutscene. You can get through that if you don't play any of the cutscenes, doing it just about what I did in like 30 minutes. Less than 30 minutes, actually. That is how much the cutscenes make a difference there. Because I was pretty much doing what the speedrunners would do along that path for the most part, except for like grabbing a couple chests here and there. But for the most part, that was the speedrunner's path. That was the most optimized way you could get through Roxas. Still 2.5 hours. That is an entirely too goddamn long prologue. Like, Destiny Island was that long, was it? I swear it doesn't feel that long. It's, I think, an hour at best, maybe? Before you're right into Traverse Town? And Traverse Town isn't even that bad because you get combat there. Like, a lot of combat. And a boss. And here, you have a long wait until you get to Axel. At that 2.5 hour mark. But going back to KH1 was fine. I didn't get to do the one skip I think I could do, which is the Dumbo skip in Hollow Bastion. Essentially, you get to skip up a floor in Hollow Bastion if you use the Dumbo summon to get you up there. I didn't grab Dumbo, so I couldn't do it. Oops. Yeah, there is a skip that allows you to skip a better portion of Hollow Bastion that exists in the game, but you don't hit a loading screen to trigger cutscene in order to progress. And I think you can even soft lock the game if you try it.
Huh.
That's how well sewn up Kingdom Hearts 1 is. You literally can't skip anything in that game. Even if you try, it won't work. But yeah, last Riku fight wasn't too bad. I only died like 5-6 times maybe. And that was the one boss I died the most on, I think. I didn't have a final death count for KH1 in terms of stats, so I don't know how many times I actually died. Chain of Memories, though, 3 hours on 2 bosses, and only one of them was a final boss, and that was only an hour stuck on him. That last Anthem fight sucked for Riku, and Riku 4 for Sora sucked as well because of his obnoxious amount of 9s and 0s on in his deck. Like Chain of Memories deck system, the card system kind of works. The problem is the fact you really need to use Slate's late game, but using Slates causes the first card in your deck to disappear, and you can't reload that unless you use a high potion or something higher than that, I believe. Right? I believe that's how Slates work.
Sorry, don't mind me. I'm kind of just surprised at how broke Grim Eclipse is.
Oh god. I stopped after I stopped because I'm like, this is gonna be watched later. But yeah, you need slates, and honestly, slates are better to break slates with than 0s because they're more easily accessible. And you also like, it's quicker for me to pop 3 cards to break a slate, especially since I can organize the deck to have all my high numbered slates immediately accessible to me, than it is to go backwards, 2 cards, pop a 0, and hope I don't take damage in the time period for that slate to go off. And also the 0 doesn't give me as much damage as the slates. Honestly, I have to agree with Shenta in his review that there's only 2 good slates, and that's Sonic Blade and Strike Raid. Zenketsuden gives me crap. And what else did I have to use there? Fuck. The 3-hit one from the up top, I don't remember what the name of it is, but it works better, but it works as well because it's homing. But if a slate homes, it's fine. And if it does multiple hits, it's good. If not, it's useless. It's a waste of resources. Like Trinity Limit worked for me because it was a massive AoE in late game that I needed. Because Neo Shadows are obnoxious to deal with. But yeah, so I was telling you before, like, Riku's part of the game, Reverse Rebirth, sucks because you can't organize your deck. You have no heals outside of Mickey cards. You can easily fuck yourself when you're trying to heal if you try to do 1 Mickey and 2 cards because that's a slate in that order. If you put Mickey anywhere else, it's fine. But if you put Mickey first, that's a slate. And that slate's garbage unless you're in dark mode. And even then, it's not as good as your other slates. So you need 2 Mickeys. That heal takes longer. It takes a while to start and initiate, meaning it can be easily broken before it happens. Your deck is completely random, meaning you honestly aren't really prepared for like Ansem, where he's throwing out a lot of high number cards, so you don't have those easily accessible to you. The duel system isn't really that good of a system. Because it's like, oh yeah, break this card. Hope you have those cards on you. Also, you're on a time limit, and that time is off in the right corner where you're looking at the bottom left corner to try to find all your cards. Also, all those counter cards, I think, get counted as a use. So you're down like 6 cards in a boss just to get an opening, which feels kind of bad. Or just to do some damage and get an opening, I think. Which it's a pretty good amount of damage, but still, that's a lot of cards wasted for that amount of damage. Like, the card system, I don't like it. It's not the command deck system I'm going to have to play with in Birth by Sleep in 3D is better, but that has its problems as well. Honestly, Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 gameplay is probably the best because it's the most free gameplay in terms of your options. The others, not so much. So, yeah. I'm just glad I'm through the game I was worried I was going to be stuck on forever. And I'm onto the game I know I won't be stuck on anything, most likely, because I will blaze through this game like there's no tomorrow. Like, I have played Kingdom Hearts 2, the latest out of all of these games. I know how to play Kingdom Hearts 2. Like, there's not a boss on here I don't know how to beat, and I have not seen a speedrun of to make sure I know how to beat it easily and quickly. Because, you know, the secret to really screwing with all the bosses in Kingdom Hearts 2 to do damage? Once you get Reflect, no boss is immune to damage anymore. Because Reflect will do damage no matter what. And oh boy, can it pull out some damage for you. Like, Reflect is your best friend. Literally your best friend in that game. It is the one magic you will equip, you will always equip, and you will always have on you no matter what. It doesn't matter. Once you have Reflect, you use it, and you use it all the time against bosses, because it is that powerful. Also, if I get Anti-Sora, I will honestly be surprised. Because I should not spam drive forms enough in order to get Anti-Sora. I think I talked about it on the show, like the percentage chances of getting anti-form. Have I? I'll take that as a maybe. Okay, at best, I will have a 25% chance of getting it if my counter is at 10 plus. I think right now my counter's at 4, maybe. So I'm at 0. Like, I'm literally not going to get it. Yeah, I should not be getting it. The only time I'm gonna have to really worry about is if it's multiplied, and it's not gonna get multiplied. I'm probably not gonna have to worry about it in a boss fight. Or I shouldn't. Because this is what, 5 times multiplier for Organization 13 bosses, and 10 times for the first Armored Xemnas fight. And I'm not gonna be using forms for any of or I'm not gonna use a form for first Armored Xemnas, and I shouldn't be worrying about those Organization 13 fights to pull out Anti-Sora. Like, if I use it, I don't know if I'm going to die, because I know how to use Anti-Sora, so I should be fine. But I have to wait and see when that happens. But yeah, I just got through Land of Dragons, which is the first world for KH2. Tomorrow should be at least through Olympus Coliseum. I might make it to Disney Castle. Depends on how fast those worlds go. Land of Dragons is about an hour, and that's about a world in Kingdom Hearts 2, if not shorter than that. So I will be blazing through worlds in 5 hours. That's 5 worlds. Which means I should be somewhere in the second half of the game by, like, Tuesday. And possibly revisiting worlds depending on how boss fights go. Which shouldn't be too bad. So I'm hopeful that I'll beat Kingdom Hearts 2 in, like, 3 or 4 days. I know KZ Excellent, who I follow on YouTube, he's doing a Kingdom Hearts marathon at the same time I'm doing a marathon, and he's already caught up to me in less days. Granted, he's played these games more than I have, so I'm not surprised. But I'm like, no. I think he also streams for longer than I do. But that's all I got, really. I have not had time to really play anything else, unfortunately. I played Heroes a little bit in Pokemon Go, but I haven't done anything there, really. I haven't got any fancy pulls or caught any fancy Pokemon. So, you ready to look at some articles? And hopefully not spend 4 hours on them? Tommy? Hello? Hello? Ruh-roh. Tommy, you there?
Yep,
You ready to look at articles?
I guess so.
All right. We're gonna start off with the thing that came out yesterday. Destiny 2 had its full gameplay shown off for the first time in about an hour-long stream. And I took a look at the whole stream, and Destiny 2 is starting off about where Destiny 1 is now, which is good. We kind of hit the stuff as we go in this article. So, main thing they showed off first and foremost was the story, and went, all right, here's the basic story for Destiny 2. Bad guys didn't like that you're the ones chosen by the guard or by the guy who gives out the light. I forgot his name at the moment. But he's come to the last city, ransacked it, locked up the big orb, took away everyone's light, and everyone's pretty much on the run and on the back foot trying to recover our last city. Shit went wrong. You lost. Start over. And you're fighting someone who really doesn't like you. Yeah, our new villain's Gaul, and he personally kicks your ass in the first mission of the game. Because they showed off the first mission of the game, and it ends before you have your encounter with Gaul, and I assume you get your monkey ass handed to you and thrown off his ship. Classes are getting a little bit of changes. New supers for the Warlock, you got the Dawn Blade, which allows you to fly around and has a big ass flaming sword that you can swing projectiles from. Hunters get the Air Strider. You'll be using a lance weapon. And Titans get essentially Captain America's shield that you can just fling at people and block stuff with. It's the best thing in the world. We've got a number of new guns, miniguns, new pistols and stuff, and new way of setting up new way of weapon loadouts. Weapon loadouts are let's see, is it two? It's 2 weapons plus a power weapon, I believe. Is the article?
Yeah, I think you're right on that.
Yeah, it's 2 weapons and a power weapon, and those 3 weapons can be anything. Like, you can literally have 3 pistols if you want to, or 3 snipers, or 3 pulse rifles. It all depends on what the weapon is and which slot it fits into. So you are really not limited on what weapons you have access to in terms of your 3 weapons at any given point. And I believe off the bat, you have 3 abilities that you can pull from, I think. At least in the first mission, you had 3 abilities right there with you. And I assume you'll be starting off with something close to that. New multiplayer modes, specifically Countdown is shown off, offensive, defensive, objective-based. And when you see the classes in the work, clans are a thing in the game as well, along with essentially help using clans to also like find games. Like if you're a solo player, you can queue up in, I believe, the group finder, and it will match you up with groups that are just looking for 1 player or 2 players or how many other players they need. And you will see what you're getting into because you'll see what that clan is, what they're like, what kind of clan they are, what their name is, and stuff before you even hop into their game. So you know exactly who you're matching up with for a raid or a strike or anything before you even accept, which is pretty cool. We've got the inverted spire strike, which I saw a little bit of from a stream from someone who was there. He showed off his recorded footage of it. Looking pretty good. A 3-phase boss at the end of it. That it was a pretty extensive boss for a strike, a 3-man strike. No raid shown off yet. We're visiting 3 new planets and a new city on Earth. I think it's Titan, Elos, the European Dead Zone on Earth, and I forgot the 4th planet. But you're visiting a moon of Jupiter, a moon of Saturn, and a planet out there in the cosmos. And Destiny 2 is going to be available through battle.net instead of Steam, which seems a bit odd, but okay. And one of the things they emphasized, which was a kind of an interesting stat, only 50% of players in Destiny experienced the raids. Only half the player base ever got to experience raids. So what they're wanting to do is to have it be 100% player base get to experience the raids in Destiny 2. So there's a lot of focus on better matchmaking, better getting people together to play these cooperative experiences, even if you are a solo player. All of the footage that's coming around right now from the Destiny 2 event was either recorded on a PC or on PlayStation 4 Pros. I believe the PCs are running 60 FPS or at least uncapped FPS, while consoles might be limited to 30. Might be limited to 30. And I saw PC specs, and I'm not sure if those are the actual PC specs, but apparently a potato could run it and can run Destiny 2 if necessary. That was according to Broman on these specs that I don't know on because they weren't from an official source. I know when I checked the website, I checked for specs. They didn't have them, so I don't know. But yeah, Destiny 2 is looking fantastic. Like, they have come in and went, all right, we made mistakes with Destiny 1. We fixed those mistakes over the core lifespan of Destiny 1. And at Destiny 2, we're starting with all those lessons learned, and we are making a better game. Making sure that this game is really good to start with, which is fantastic to hear.
Well, they're already winning with the fact that they're running on PC too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might not be Steam, but PC support kind of will help them.
Mm-hmm. There's a beta coming this summer. There might have been a hint that the PC launch might be later than the console launch. Might, but it's probably not. But yeah, they also confirmed that Destiny 2 is not coming to Switch, unfortunately. Aww.
Well, that sucks.
Yeah. But yeah, this looks fantastic. Like, I almost want to say I want to come back to Destiny because of this, but
you know what would be
know.
good for Destiny 2?
What?
If they found a way to like one of the expansions implement the Destiny missions. Like, kind of let you do an updated version of them, kind of deal.
That'd be neat to do as a limited event because I believe they're still going to support Destiny 1 even with Destiny 2 out.
Yeah, but they won't for long.
Yeah.
And that would give a way to still, if you get someone come in late, kind of get the full experience.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm tempted to go back to Destiny and be like, I want to give this game a try again, especially with all these wonderful updates and stuff. But it seems like the really best stuff of Destiny is all past what you buy on the disc and into the expansion stuff. So I don't know if I want to pay the extra money to go through all that, because I've sold my copy of Destiny already, like a long time ago at this point. So I'd be rebuying a copy of it. I'm thinking I
Well,
might just.
I had no problems with Destiny,
Mm-hmm.
but it got repetitive
Mm-hmm.
and it felt too much like Halo kind of deal. That was
Yeah.
my big complaints with it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of, since 343's kind of screwed up Halo at the moment, and by kind of I
Yeah.
mean they have. I would be fully willing to give Destiny another shot.
Honestly, if I'm gonna give Destiny a shot, I'm gonna give it in Destiny 2. I'm just gonna be like,
Same here.
just gonna go to Destiny 2. I don't know if I get it on PC because I don't know if my little 7-year-old laptop will handle it.
Well, then all I can say is you better hope for cross-platform.
Yeah. I mean, I have a PlayStation 4. I have a PlayStation 4 Pro. So, but yeah, they didn't mention anything about cross-platform stuff either. So, who knows on
Because
that?
I know I can run PC version. Like the specs would have to be like super. Oh my god! Hardly anyone's going to be able to play them before I wouldn't be able to.
Yeah, I would have to wait till the specs are officially out and check them just to see. But if I can't run XCOM 2 at max settings, I might be in trouble.
Well, I can't run Doom at max settings, but I can run Doom. So,
Yeah.
well, I say that I've not tried it. I kind of don't feel like attempting that. It runs fine how I've got it, so I'm like, screw it, I'm fine with it.
Yeah, I forgot the NVIDIA card that I have in my laptop at the moment. I forgot where I can easily check that. Uh,
I don't remember right offhand.
well, it's not in the place I thought it would be. That just tells me the CPU I got. NVIDIA control panel might tell me what NVIDIA card
It
I got.
should.
It'll take forever for it to load up. So we can move on to the next article. So ARMS had a Nintendo Direct recently, and you have a video for the little thing they threw in there at the end. So we won't talk about that, but we'll talk about everything else.
We also got the global test punch, I think they called it.
Yes, which that's not as good of a name as maybe Global Tryout. I feel like would have been a better name and better fitting for this universe.
Or here's a better concept. Rather than trying to associate this on the same grounds as Splatoon, why not just come up with something for ARMS?
Well,
Because
it's
does it not feel like it's just trying to copy at this point now?
It is, to be honest. It's the same kind of art style. It's the same kind of marketing they did for Splatoon. It even has a similar sounding beta. It is trying to be Splatoon again.
I mean, granted, I think ARMS has the potential of being the Splatoon for the Switch,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know. I don't think we should have let that be on the same ground as that.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, just to cover some of the stuff that got dropped in the direct. Combat customization, essentially just customization of your different arms, different types of arms, different attributes on them. So we confirm that the arms have different attributes. Different weights, which should affect their momentum. And you can upgrade your arms as well by getting copies of them in the arms getter. We've got different play or game modes. We've got straight up fight mode, which is our main multiplayer mode. Team fight for 2v2. V-ball, which is volleyball. Hoops, where you literally grab and dunk your opponents, which is like the best game mode already. Literally, it's just like grab your opponent, dunk him in the hoop. That's the best. Skill shot, breaking as many targets as possible. 1v100, where you're defeating 100 enemies in a row. And then testing and training. I don't know why Grand Prix is listed in our multiplayer. It's not a multiplayer mode, but we got Grand Prix, which is a standard arcade mode, and confirms that we have yet another fighter in the waiting in the wings. Because we had a fighter there that was shadowed, that had a championship belt around his waist, which none of the arms fighters have. So there's yet one more character to reveal. We've got Party Match, which you can get to by connecting multiple switches together. So 20 players can get together in the same lobby. You got ranked 1v1 matches with a ranking system similar to Splatoon. You win, your rank goes up. You lose, your rank goes down. And you got local wireless mode. Armors will be supporting free software updates with new fighters, stages, and arms in the future. So
So
no
the
worries
Splatoon
about...
treatment.
Yep. We got our global test punch, which is happening May 26th through the 28th, and a second one June 2nd through the 4th, really close to E3 right there.
Yeah.
So you'll be able to test out arms for yourself in the future.
And I've got to double check the times, but I believe one of the times for it would be around the time we'd be streaming, so we might open next week's stream with the global test punch. And by we, I mean me.
Yeah, only one of us has got a switch here, and it's not me.
So, I got to check times though, because I'm wanting to say, but I can't swear to that. And, alright, this page just is really being annoying.
What, the article page or
Yeah, the article page.
Oh. We got reintroduction
Yeah, I can.
to all of our fighters, along with a couple new ones. We got Springman, Ninjara, Master Mummy, Min Min, Kid Cobra, which is a new one, Ribbon Girl, Helix, Mechanica, Bite and Barker, new ones, a 2-in-1 fighter, and Twintail, who is also new. So we got a pretty sizable roster, pretty good roster for a first fighting game. And the thing at the end, we won't talk about till later. So yeah, I am impressed. Arms is looking good. Hopefully the test punch goes well for a lot of people. So maybe this game has a chance to succeed. Although I will pose a question to you, Tommy, because I saw it on Twitter before the direct. I believe from I think it was the Nintendo Wire. It was one of the Amiibo Nintendo news sites I follow on Twitter. They were asking if we were going to see Arms Amiibo for the direct.
I'd say yeah.
I assume we're only going to be seeing Amiibo if Arms succeeds. Because did we get Splatoon Amiibo off the bat? I think we did. We?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was straight out the gate because the Amiibo gave the challenge quests.
Okay.
And I am wrong. I must have misread when the times were because apparently we don't have one at that time. Because the one for the 26th starts at 7 p.m. Central, meaning it'd be like an hour before we stream.
Yeah.
Well, an hour to 2 hours.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I hope ARM succeeds because it'd be cool. If Amiibo come out, I'd have to be into the game to get them and want them. It's gonna be the same treatment I have with Splatoon. I didn't get Splatoon Amiibo until I got into the game, so I ain't touching ARMS Amiibo. I have a hard enough time waiting for the last 3 Smash Amiibo to go up on Amazon so I can pre-order my goddamn female corn that I want. Ugh. Still no pre-orders for that, by the way. None since they've been announced. Fucking Best Buy and GameStop have both ran their pre-orders for those Amiibo. Both of them. And female corn's only exclusive is only going to be available at Amazon, which is the only reason I'm pre-ordering these from Amazon is to get all 3 of them through there. Like I don't care about the player 2s for Cloud and Bayonetta. I just want female corn. And I'm also entered into a sweep like a giveaway for the Majora's Mask link. Because I'm like, well, if I get it for free, it'd be fine. I figured to see if I win it. If I don't, it's fine. Like, we'd have to get an Ice Climbers amiibo or something else for me to really want that one. Well, moving on. This is legit, by the way. We can show the page that is linked there on the My Nintendo store in Japan that proves that if you really want that box for the Splatoon 2 bundle to come later this year, you can get it for 200 yen shipped. Like, legit, you can buy the box. Just the box. Or is it 540 yen? Yes.
540.
Yeah, 540 yen. I read the wrong thing. 540 yen shipped. Which that page doesn't exist anymore. Well, I guess it does. It's not going to happen now. That something's going on. Something's causing the page to break. Wait, no, it's still there. I saw it for a second. It's an error page. It's still there, folks. I swear to you. I literally just pulled it up before the what is going on? Google Translate, help me out here. What's going on? I don't understand.
Well, there you go. You can get you a Switch box.
Yes. Okay, it cannot be used in registered countries. Please check the settings of the Nintendo account. Oh.
You're logged in.
Yep. There's the problem. My problem. I'm logged into my account, so I can't see this. But it is there, folks. You legit can buy your Splatoon 2 bundle box. This is some eBay nonsense. This is just straight up eBay nonsense.
Yep.
Well, you gonna get you one?
No.
Not even for the novelty of it?
Nope.
Okay. Well.
Because that is clickbait eBay listing for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I may have fallen victim to that because I tried ordering for my birthday a Pokemon Adventures Diamond Pearl Platinum box set. And the person I bought it from on half may not have been selling it to begin with. So I'm gonna have to go through the process of getting the money refunded and then buying from a different seller for that one. And possibly checking Amazon for this stuff from now on to see if I can get it cheaper there. But, well, you remember how we were speculating on the third character for Sonic Forces?
Yeah.
And how I brought up that it looks a whole lot like Bubsy?
And how after I saw this, I thought, okay, now I'm almost just done.
Well, it's not officially Bubsy, but it could be because the third character in Sonic Forces that you can play as is you.
That's
You
why I'm
can
done.
you can literally create it's a character creator. It's your own made character with special gadgets and stuff. And I can't even with this.
Why can't we just have a Generations 2? Why
We
can't
are.
Sega just make a good Sonic game? Let me
We
just
are.
say it.
We are getting Generations 2, but now
No,
you can put your Sonic OC in it.
no. We're getting Sonic Boom Generations. Let's throw some stupid gimmick in for no discernible reason.
I legit cannot believe that this is actually a thing.
Sonic Boom. I can believe this is a thing. I can't believe someone at Sega still thought it was a good idea for them to try to do gimmicks. It's not working. Gimmicks is Nintendo's thing, not Sega's.
Like, I still can't believe this. I'm like, I can't stop thinking it's like everyone has a Sonic OC somewhere. And now you can put it into an official Sonic game, and it will be an official character now. Like, this is dumb. This is wonderfully dumb.
You know what added to the I give up on this game?
What?
The fact that your custom character can use the grappling hook things that they used in Sonic Boom.
Oh god, you're
It's
right.
the exact same one. That's when I was done. I'm like, okay, create your own character. Well, let's see what they do. Oh god, no, no, no. We're not bringing that back.
Do you think it's possible that the third character would have been Sonic Boom Sonic? And then they went, oh god, Sonic Boom's a terrible game. What do we do now? Just make it your own character. Any character is better than Sonic Boom Sonic.
Oh dear god, you're
Unless it's the
right.
TV show Sonic Boom.
Oh dear god, you're right. Oh dear god, that's what happened. Why do I have a funny feeling? That is exactly what happened.
Well, they had a lot of faith in Sonic Boom, you know, and then it went terribly. But the TV show's good.
The 3DS games are good. Because I have actually heard people say they're not bad. The Wii U won a whole nother ballgame.
Wii U is just boring and terribly bad.
No, no. The Wii U one is terribly coded.
Mm. Oh, by the way, that OC that you get to create, it can play in both 3D and 2D Sonic levels.
I think you hit the nail on the head, though. I have a funny feeling this. You're exactly right. This was supposed to be Sonic Boom Sonic, and then they're like, oh, wait, we'll get backlash. Hold on, let's change this. uh, uh,
Well, to better news, you know what The Witcher is, right? That fantastic little RPG series that you should only play the second and third one because the first one doesn't play that well. Like,
yeah,
really does not play that well.
yeah.
Well, it's also getting a Netflix series. Oh god. Is this
It,
the new every video game is getting a movie trend? Every video game is getting its own Netflix series?
yes. You have a popular game. Let's make a Netflix series.
Well,
Because
maybe one of these will get off the ground.
because you know game to movie transitions suck. Movie to game transitions sucks. So let's try game to TV show. That's
Let's
bound to
be honest.
work, right?
Well, there's less examples of that, but I think they've all still sucked.
Actually,
Okay.
if you think about it, Sonic Boom's a prime example of the TV show actually overlooking the games.
Okay. Sonic Boom worked. Sonic Sat AM worked. What is the quality on all of those Mario series? Because I believe those are all questionable at this point. Everyone's got nostalgia for Captain N, but let's be honest, that's not a very good representation of those games.
Well, let's be honest. Sega's better at having their characters be in TV shows. Nintendo's better at having their characters be in games.
Yeah.
God help us if you put them together, we might actually get something come good out of that.
Yeah. Let's see, what other... Yeah, I gotta look this up, because the only other one I'm thinking of is the Mortal Kombat series. And that one wasn't good. We had Bomberman ones? Okay.
Wait, I'm not gonna question it.
2 Bomberman series, mind you.
I'm not gonna question
Japan.
that.
Arc the Lad? What? Wait, I only heard about that from Nick Arcade, I think. Unless I'm probably wrong. Oh, Digimon technically counts in that story. Technically.
Wasn't it the other way around though?
It depends whether the card game or the little chibi pet things were first.
Because I'm wanting to think the card game's what spawned the TV show, which spawned the games. I'm thinking
Okay,
was the order with that.
Oh no, the Tamagotchi pet is what spawned the whole franchise.
Well, I mean, duh, but
Yeah. I believe that's what we're counting here as the video game, is those things.
I'm talking about as the franchise itself, though.
I don't think we got a video game until after the animes, I think.
So, I mean, technically, that might be the other way around.
There's Donkey Kong Country.
Where do we throw that one in?
Under a bus, let's be honest.
Well, I mean, I think everyone that remembers the show was like, "Oh, that was a good show. I remember liking that show," and then rewatch the show now, and it's like, "Why did I like this show?"
The Fate franchise counts. It started as a visual novel series, so a little bit off what we're talking about, but
yeah,
you know what? It counts.
That's kind of off the topic there too, though.
The F-Zero anime, which was good for the 2 episodes we watched, outside of me going, "How the fuck did you survive this?" No, you didn't.
Video game logic.
Yes, let me survive this crash, and I literally had my head taken off by this. Fuck you.
Video game logic.
Fire Emblem had a show at one point. I think it was a little anime miniseries, actually. I believe it was Mars, and I don't think it was turned out that well. There's that Kirby anime. I don't know how well that went. All I know is there's an amiibo joke in there way before amiibos were a thing. The Legend of Zelda one, which questionable.
There again, I refer back to my previous statement about Nintendo's characters are better in games, whereas Sega's are better in TV shows.
Metabots. Technically came from video games, so there's one. The first Mega Man anime, I'm actually thinking into the The one based off network transmission is really well received. Apparently, Monster Rancher had a show, and Parappa the Rapper. Oh yeah, the
yeah,
Pac-Man.
that one.
Yeah. Then we had a couple Pac-Man ones. Persona 4 had a good one. Pokemon, the long-running Pokemon anime, with its up and down seasons.
Yeah, I was gonna say that one's kind of a mixed bag of everything, though.
Rayman had a series at one point.
That's kind of on par with Yu-Gi-Oh shows.
Yeah, Vrains is. I think I'm done with Vrains. 2 episodes in.
Part of me wants to check it out, and then the other part of me is like, okay, stupid dual system. We had a really screwed up ending for Arc 5, so maybe I shouldn't try this.
If we do it, we're doing it as a random pick on TGSR, to be honest. Because 2 episodes are out and they're subbed. So that qualifies enough. I'll be honest, the dual system is a bit more simpler and kind of dumber now with how they're doing it in the show. Because they're doing speed duels, as I believe the primary sort of way of dueling in the show, from the looks of it. And guess how you do speed duels? You got 3 monster card zones, you got 3 magic trap zones, and your starting hand's 4, and that's it. Also, you know how Yuma has his shining draw power?
Yeah.
Oh, we got something similar in this show. Apparently, if a duelist goes into a data storm and they are able to use their special skill, they can essentially pull a monster out of thin air.
So it's Destiny Draw 2.0.
Yes. You know,
Screw that show.
Look, I know people complain about the action cards and that they can be fucking spammed and stuff. At least there's the illusion that they're actually random. There's no illusion of randomness here. It's fucking Destiny Draw. They're literally pulling shit out of thin air. Street Fighter had an anime. There's the Mario stuff. Tales of had one. The Tales of Hysteria one is I like, even though some people really don't like it. Like super don't like it. There's the Carmen Sandiego one, which I think is good. I think. Anyway, let's just move on. Okay. Well, we got another Nintendo franchise going to mobile, and guess what it is?
I'm torn on this one because we've had a good one and a bad one.
Well, Zelda's going to mobile next, according to the Wall Street Journal. And we might be hearing it at E3 next month. Maybe.
How would they pull that off successfully, though? Because, I mean, at least with Mario, it works. It's more the paywall that you hit there that is the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Fire Emblem did good, but with the paywall, but they kind of lack on actually having content.
Yeah. Still having that problem. Even though we've gotten 2 new chapters, I've already burned through them.
I mean, Pokemon Go's just Pokemon Go, so we kind of can't even throw that one in here.
Really, the best time for Pokemon Go was the first month it was out, and now it's a distraction, kind of.
Yeah.
Pokemon Go is more about the experience with other people playing it than it is the game, to
Yeah.
be honest.
Which it kind of falls in the same category that Mitomo was trying to hit.
Mm-hmm.
And I say trying because it didn't exactly pull off either.
Mm-hmm.
But that's why I'm like, I don't know. We've had two different franchises that one worked, but they screwed up with the paywall.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one, they didn't get enough content for it, but they did the paywall right. So it's
And
like,
it's made
how are
more
we
money than
getting...
Super Mario Run, to be honest.
Yeah, with less downloads.
Yeah.
So it's one of those, I'm like, okay, how are we going to do this? I mean, are we going to see something similar to Hyrule Warriors?
I was thinking those 8-bit maps somehow, maybe like going around fighting items, a very simplified exploration system. Maybe.
I mean,
I honestly don't know.
that's the one that I'm like, I don't know. I mean, Animal Crossing would work.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, we know talks about that's been going around.
Yeah, apparently this is coming out after Animal Crossing, which is coming later this year.
It's just like, I don't know on this one. The only thing I can think of is maybe some kind of companion app to go along with the expansions for Breath of the Wild.
Maybe, but I would think we would have heard something about it by now if that was the case.
Well, we don't really know what's coming in the second DLC.
Okay.
We know it's going to be more story-driven stuff, and I'm wanting to say basically a map expansion is how it's been presented.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it could tie in with that.
That is the best thing that I think this could be, because I honestly don't know.
Like, it either has to be that, or it has to be, like you said, something to do with like how Hyrule Warriors had the 8-bit maps.
Yeah, a simplified exploring Zelda game. Super simplified because it's on mobile.
But other than that, I don't think this one would actually translate too good.
Mm-hmm. Well, for one thing, it's going to be at E3. To one thing we know that's not going to be E3. You know how 343 is bringing a Halo some E3 this year? Most likely to the Microsoft press conference?
Yeah, and it's not going to be two different things.
Nope, it's not going to be Halo 6.
Nor is it going to be Halo 3 remaster.
Nope, they've already flat
They've
out said
said
it on
that one
Reddit.
too.
Yeah, they said it flat. I forgot who it was on Reddit. Nope, it's not Halo 3 Anniversary, and it's not Halo 6.
Although, okay, they've clearly said it's not Halo 3 Anniversary. They've
Yeah.
clearly said it's not Halo 6. Is it possible we could see something like the that Halo multiplayer game actually being released?
Okay, if we legit get Halo Online, I will laugh my ass off. Especially if they bill it as this brand new thing that's existed for 2 years now.
And is it bad that part of me's kind of hoping that's what they do? Because we also found out that was built off the Halo 3 engine.
Yeah.
Meaning, give that to the right people, we'll have Halo 3 on PC. Whether they want it or not.
Considering my current sleep schedule at the moment, since I'm getting up for the Kingdom Hearts marathons, I'll probably be live streaming the press conferences. If that happens, you will legit hear me die laughing on stream. I will not be able to contain myself.
Uh,
Well, the articles suggest maybe some Halo Wars 2 DLC, but I'm like, if it is, why is 343 bringing it to the show? Because that's not their game.
yeah. Like, this has to be something mainstream Halo.
Yeah.
And I mean, the only logical thing would be Halo 3 Anniversary, which they've done said's not going to be there.
Uh,
Because we all know they have fell far behind on the Halo 4, 5, and 6 plan. Because we should have, I believe we either should have had 6 coming out this year, according to what the original plan was, like way back when. I know they had like a 2-year plan and it took 3 years before they got Halo 5 out.
yeah, but isn't it like 4 through 9? Because it's a saga, not a trilogy.
But they had 4, 5, and 6 with release years
Yeah.
when they initially announced the saga,
Mm-hmm.
which I still think stupid that they announced it that way.
Yeah. God damn it.
Of course, to be fair, everyone that's upset with how Halo 5 turned out, we all should have knew better. When they come out and say, it's not just going to be a trilogy, it's going to be a saga. That should have been the key point right there where it's like, oh crap, we're screwed.
Well, and better news, we know what Ubisoft's bringing to E3 this year, and it's 3 games. Not only are we going to be expecting Far Cry 5, not only are we expecting a sequel to The Crew, but we're also getting a brand new Assassin's Creed.
Well, but of course. I mean, they have to have their yearly Assassin's Creed.
Apparently, it might be Assassin's Creed Origins, and it will be in Egypt. Okay? Will we be bogged down with present storyline stuff? Because that's the stuff no one cares about at this point. No one cares about the present storyline anymore, I don't think.
Well, then, yes, it will. Because that's what they did with the movie.
I still haven't watched that movie, and I honestly don't care. I really don't. I do not care enough to actually sit down and watch that movie, even if it's on free TV. So yeah, we know what Ubisoft's bringing to the table. Oh boy, E3 is gonna be fun this year. As long as we get like good amiibo announces, I'll be happy. I like some good amiibo announcements. We already got the 3
That's okay. You'll at least be happy.
Yeah.
Because we know Nintendo and Sony pretty much have this E3 tied up.
Yeah, we'll have all sorts of fantastic Switch stuff because we're going to get Odyssey at the E3 this year. We'll have rest of Switch stuff, maybe a little bit 3DS stuff as it's being phased out.
It's not being phased out. They're still releasing for it. Because they can totally support 2 handheld devices. I mean, wait, the Switch isn't a handheld.
Yeah, it's totally not a handheld, folks. But then Sony's got the best game in the world, that of War. Which, speaking of 3DS, speaking of portables and Nintendo, did you watch Gerard's review of the Fire Emblem game for GBA?
Yep.
Just Fire Emblem. I am so sorry, Gerard. Someone should have warned you to never try to complete a Fire Emblem game. Because I didn't think he would do... I didn't realize all support conversations counted as a completionist bonus, or as a completionist thing. Why? Why would you do that, Gerard? You insane fool, you.
Well, he is the completionist. He has to complete everything.
I feel so sorry for him when he gets to Path of Radiance. If he ever continues forward with another Fire Emblem game.
You know what's bad? I thought we all needed to feel sorry for him for doing Breath of the Wild.
At
Then
least
he
he
goes
had.
and tops it.
Yeah. Then he goes and decides to play the first Fire Emblem game we got stateside and decides to do all support conversations. And has to play it, what, 6 times
Yep.
to do everything? My God, Gerard, why? Like, what's worse is when he gets to like Path of Radiance in Path of Radiance, because support conversations still exist there, by the way. And I believe you have less options too. And characters have so many more possible conversations they can have, or so many more characters they can support with. Like, I think I can support with almost the entire cast. Like, almost the entire cast. Can you imagine? Oh no. Oh no. I forgot something about Path of Radiance. You remember me telling you those unlockable characters?
Oh God.
Let me pull that up. Let me pull that up real quick just to give you an idea of how many times he was going to have to replay the game over and over and over again to get those characters. I believe it's 10 times is the max.
Why do I foresee him not doing that?
Where was it?
No, who am I kidding?
15 times. 15 times. 15 times.
Well, all I can say is at least with that, he would get something out of every time he played it rather than collecting 900 Korok seeds for a pile of poo.
Gerard, I know you'll never hear this podcast. I know you'll never hear me say this. But as someone who Let's Played Fire Emblem Path of Radiance, someone who loves Fire Emblem, and would love for you to do more Fire Emblem games, never do that. Please. I fear for your sanity if you try to complete Path of Radiance 15 goddamn times just to unlock Ashnard to play in trial maps. Please, God, no. Just no. Don't. You don't need to unlock Ashnard. You don't need to play the game 10 times, or 5 times, or 7 times to unlock these characters you're only going to get to play in trial maps. You don't have to do this. Please, for the love of God, Gerard, don't. Please don't. Please. I want you to enjoy the games that you're hopping into the franchises for the first time. I don't want you to suffer through them. Since this is his first real experience with Fire Emblem in this review. I also loved how he was talking about playing Awakening while Fate's footage was playing. I had one of those nitpicky nerd moments of like, that's Fate's footage, Gerard. Look, you can play either one. It's fine. The problem is Fates doesn't have that many CG footage to do for B-rolls like that, so it's understandable. All right, let's talk releases. Oh, what wonderful things we have in store for us here. If you want to follow along, the link is below.
Yes, that's what I was fixing to say.
All right. Kicking off on the 22nd for PC, we've got Battle Summoners Early Access, Delilah's Gift, Global Soccer Manager 2017, Grayman, a post-apocalyptic band reunion Early Access, Impact Winter, Mech League Boxing Early Access, The Elder Scrolls Online Morrowind, and Walkerman. On the 23rd, We got Portal Knights Gold Throne Edition for Xbox One and PlayStation 4, Samurai Warriors Spirit of Sonata for PlayStation 4 and PC, Spellspire for PlayStation 4 and PC, Star Ocean Till the End of Time for PlayStation 4, Ultra what? What? Uta
I don't even want to try.
Rumono Mask of Deception for PlayStation 4 and Vita. Whatever fucking word that is. Meh. Darksiders War Master Edition for Wii U and Disgaea 5 complete for the Switch and on PC. Dynasty Feud, Flights to Eternia, Gene Shift, Mirage Arcane Warfare, Planet Coaster, and Puzzle Showdown 4K.
By the
On the
way, I forgot to mention this in stuff that I'd played, but the Disgaea 5 complete demo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I might actually be willing to pick that game up.
Well, whenever you get done playing Disgaea, you'll be ready for Fire Emblem because they're similar style of the games. Same kind of genre.
Yeah.
Although
Same
for the love of
with
God,
Final Fantasy Tactics.
mm-hmm. I did not watch Gerard's Tactics review. I know people love Final Fantasy Tactics, and only 2 characters have been put into to Record Keeper, as far as I know. I think is it only 2?
I don't know. I don't even have Record Keeper installed anymore.
Neither do I, but I've started following someone who streams the Record Keeper events, and now get to see high level Record Keeper play and find out that there's multiplayer now.
Oh, that would have been nice.
Yeah.
I'm not re-downloading it.
I am not re-downloading it nor trying to re-get my account. So yeah. Yeah, it's was it 4 players with 2 characters apiece fighting a big boss? You need to be fairly high leveled for it. I've just get to see very high level Record Keeper play now, and I'm just like, wow, this is how you're supposed to play the game. That's good to know. And apparently, one of the Sids is a god, essentially. I think it's actually the Tactics Sid.
Huh.
It's not one of the Sids I know, so it's not 7, not 13, and not 12.
Well, based off of your description, I would bet it's not 8 either.
Who's the Sid from 8?
I actually don't think you can play as him now that I'm thinking about it.
Well, 13's a bad guy and 12's a bad guy too, so that doesn't surprise me.
I think 8 winds up being a bad guy in the middle of the game, if I'm remembering right. It's been forever since I've played 8.
I should play 6 because apparently 6 is a good one.
I actually own the Google Play version.
Of course, I've seen a Super Mario RPG randomizer, and I'm like, I don't think I've ever beat Super Mario RPG. I
haven't either.
Play that. I should play that and beat it. Since I love Paper Mario to death.
And since that's kind of its father.
Yeah. And we'll never get anything out of the Super Mario RPG franchise ever again. Maybe.
Thanks, Square.
Maybe you two cooperate and we can get Geno and Mallow. I kind of want Smash If to do Mallow since they've done Geno. To be honest.
Although, you know, since Nintendo and Square's kind of on talking terms, seeing as how Cloud's in Smash, maybe we could get that.
I dig it.
That would really be kind of cool if we got a RPG remaster for the Switch or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Well, continuing releases on the 24th, We've got Unit 4 for Xbox One and PC, and also on PC, we got Balthazar's Dream, Black Desert Online, Empyrean's Frontier Early Access, Mass Shooters, Medusa's Labyrinth VR, and Ricky Raccoon. On the 25th, we've got Block Zombie for Wii U and The Girl and the Robot for Wii U. Wii U releases. We're still getting them.
Third-party Wii U releases, though.
Hey, we're getting Cars 3 on Wii U. Okay?
Still technically third-party.
I know. And on PC, we got Aztec Venture, Get Even, Hearts Medicine, Hospital Heat, Mid Boss, Ophidia, Planet Nomads, Soul Harvest Early Access, Tanks vs. Aliens, Three Kingdoms, The Last Warlord Early Access, Trance VR, Two Worlds 2, Call of the Temporary, and Vanquish. On the 26th, we've got Friday the 13th of the game for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and PC. I forgot what the name of the game was even. It's pretty much an asymmetrical multiplayer game. That's kind of not that good from what I saw of the early beta of it. Unless they balance things out, it's not that good. We also got Get Even for Xbox One, Rhyme for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and PC, Spellspire for Xbox One, Guilty Gear Zerd Rev 2 for PlayStation 4, and Ultra Street Fighter 2, The Final Challengers for the Switch. The Street Fighter game that allows you to play in first person. That's what we really wanted out of a Street Fighter game, is to play in first person. On PC, we got Aeon, Constructor, Cross Cells, Detective Butler, Maiden Voyage Murder, Emily is Away 2, Icarus, Starship Commander Simulator, Omega Pattern, Poker Show VR, Solaroids Prologue Early Access, Star Smashers, Trail of Destruction, and Unlasting Horror Early Access. On the 29th, we've got Adjacency for PC, and that's it. On the 30th, we've got Lock's Quest for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and PC, Perception for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Switch. Holy fuck! Cross-platform on all three major systems. Or multi-platform release on all three. Holy fuck.
That's what happens when Nintendo actually puts out a decent console.
Yep. Tropico 5 Complete Collection for Xbox One, Victor Van for Xbox One and PlayStation 4, Star Trek Bridge Crew for PlayStation 4 and PC. That's a VR game, by the way. A very expensive VR game because it's 5 players?
Dang.
Yeah, it's kind of an expensive VR game, and to get like 5 people to play Star Trek and try to control a Star Trek ship.
So, not only do you have to get a VR headset, but you have to hope that you can find 4 other people in the world that has them too.
Yeah. IGN has a video up of them playing it, and yeah, it looks interesting, but if it wasn't a VR game, it'd probably be fun. It'd be more fun. But since it's a VR game, it has quite the hurdle to get over for it to be successful. Also, we got Yes Origins for Vita. And on PC, we got Galaxis Wars, Illusoria, Microcosm, MXGP3, the official motocross video game, Sorkina, Tale of Witches, a Crowded Party Game Collection, or the Crowded Party Game Collection, The Long Journey Home, and The Sims 4 Parenthood. On the 31st, we've got Dragon Bros for Xbox One, Thea the Awakening for Xbox One, and Tokyo 42 for Xbox One and PC. And on PC, we got Calm Waters, Evil Glitch, Mini Rollers, and Resorg. On the 1st, we've got Sphere Slice for the Wii U, Master Blaster Zero EX, Character Koro for Switch and 3DS. And on PC, we've got 3-2-1 Grenades, Free Fall, Lamphead, Last Dream World Unknown, Shootout on Crash Island, Shotgun Framers, Star Drop, Super Army of Tentacle 3, The Search for Army of Tentacles 2. What? Wait. That's all one title? What? That can't be all one title. I must have screwed something up.
No, you
There-
probably didn't. That's probably Valve syndrome. They can't count to 4.
Fuck me sideways. That is an official title. It's a visual novel game involving Cthulhu. It's okay. I've seen enough.
Like I said, it's Valve syndrome. They can't count to 4 instead of 3, though.
Tekken 7 and Triple X Tycoon. On the 2nd, we have Tekken 7 for Xbox One and PlayStation 4. And on PC, Lydia, Number 70, Aya Bazir, The Artifact, and Tormentor X Punisher. Oh, I found out something. I believe I mentioned Use Your Words as a release last time or the time before.
I think. Yeah.
That's a Jackbox style game, and oh my god, that game has no chill.
Hmm.
You know how the Jackbox games have joke answers that are done, they're house answers?
Yeah.
Yeah, this game, it's really hard to tell what's a house answer. To put it bluntly, the people I were watching, a couple of them did some 9/11 jokes. It's a very not very not good taste jokes. The house pulled out one of those kind of jokes. I don't know if that's pre-programmed or it somehow searches for it and pulls up an answer, but it did want a joke to follow along with the jokes that were being made by the people playing the game. And I was like, what? Like, I what? What? So you are making jokes now like them? I'm not sure I even understand. But this brings us to quick draws, and I'm just gonna give my impressions on Heisei Generations because it came out last night for subs, and I stayed up to 2:30 to watch it. Or I was up till 2:30 watching it. It's a good versus movie. Like a really good versus movie. I'm honestly surprised. Like it the thing is it's mainly Emu, Takaru, and Tamari are kind of the main 3. Haruto kind of shows up late into the movie, and he doesn't have that big of a role. And Koda, even though he's not there, and I know all of his lines are clips from the show, there's only one time that I could tell that it's not that it's really just voice clips. Like one time the voice clip didn't really match the scene, but every other time it worked. They were, I think the last couple lines Coda has are a little bit out of context with the rest of the conversation, but it works surprisingly well. Also, Tamari doesn't have the belt in this movie, but you want to know how he gets the belt? Or he gets
Time travel?
Nope. Coda breaks into the dry vault and picks it up and delivers it to him for the final fight.
Fruit Jesus strikes again.
Yep. Literally, Kodo breaks into the dry vault, wakes up Buckle, tells him, yo, your partner needs help, and takes him with him to go, and just shows up in Orange Arms and just be like, hey, here's Buckle. Also, this movie acknowledges that Koda's met both Haruto and Tamari, as both of them go, oh yeah, he's Gaim. We've met before. And like, Tamari even repeats the lines like, that's what you expect for a god. When Buckle tells him, it's like, oh yeah, bro, he broke into the dry pit and like picked me up. Hello, Smoked to Death. But yeah, honestly, I think my favorite sequence of the movie is the back-to-back fight scenes for Wizard, Gaim, and Drive, where they just seamlessly, as the fight's going on, the main theme for each of their shows is playing, and they seamlessly flow into each other. and it's wonderful. You just flow from fight scene to fight scene to fight scene as the theme songs just switch over to each other, and they just are cut so perfectly together to just flow just right. The only problem is for Ghost's big fight scene, we don't get the Ghost theme song. We get, I think, the theme song for the movie, which is kind of sad, but it's okay. It's still a good song. I honestly can't tell you, Smoke. But yeah, Hazy Generations is really good. I suggest giving it a shot. It's actually in canon with Xaid because all the main villains of the show have been referenced in this, or the main villains from this movie have been referenced. And continuity is preserved, even though Mighty Brothers X, excuse me, does show up early for the movie. Continuity is preserved because you know how many people see him go Mighty Brothers X for this?
How many?
Only one person that survives that encounter, and that's Takaru. No one else on the cast ever saw him go Mighty Bros. X, and he doesn't even remember going into that form.
Huh.
I would say Avengers Smoke, but anyway. What was I saying? But yeah, Takaru doesn't even remember going into Mighty Brothers X, and he accesses it kind of weird. He accesses it because the main villain shoves both his Mighty Action X and Gem's Proto Mighty Action X into his gamer driver. And I think the pure stress of the situation, because he also hears that he's like patient zero, I think, because that gets dropped on you in this movie as well. Like, I think between that and all the stress he's under, he somehow like force fuses them in the Mighty Brothers X temporarily. But yeah, like, it's cool. It works. It preserves continuity. And the only thing is, Takaru gets the shit kicked out of him, and so does Makoto and Alan. Really badly. But I think I'm okay with that, as someone who didn't like Ghost. I think the only thing continuity-wise that the movie doesn't keep is the fact that the three of them have all of their icons, including their heroic icons, and Grateful and Mugen. And I thought they all disappeared at the end of the movie, at the end of Ghost.
I don't know. I didn't finish Ghost.
I thought all the heroic icons disappeared and Takaru didn't have them anymore. But I guess he does, and I'm just okay with the fact it's like that they just went, look, they have their icons, we are not gonna fuck around here. They've got their they got all the icons accessible to them. But yeah, it's pure wonderful Sakamoto action. Him getting to play with all of these various writers that he's never got a chance to play with in their forms. And also wonderful fucking escalating form changes that just blast their respective opponents with. It is beautiful. Like, I love Kota's escalation of forms because he starts orange, goes pine, then Ichigo, then banana. He goes banana.
Banana.
And I'm like, oh my god, you still have a banana lock seat on you. That or you picked up Kaito's before you left. Excuse me. But then he goes Kachidoki. All right, no, he's in Jimbo when we cut back to his fight scene. Jim 11 specifically. And then he goes Kachidoki. And he ends it with Kiwami after like blasting a villain. He just walks up in Kiwami, pulls out the Muso Saber and the DJ gun, just puts him in the big sword form, and just one-shots the villain. And I'm just like, yeah, that works. Like, it's just wonderful. And I loved it. Like, Gim doesn't get to do much in the film because his bug visor and gas hat are stolen from him. But at least at the end of the movie, you get the acknowledgement of like, yeah, he knew what the fuck was going on here. And he didn't get to participate, but you know what? Because of this movie, he got to complete Perfect Puzzle. Because we get to tease for Perfect Puzzle in Parad's form to come. Which was cool. Because we get another puzzle game here, and I assume Perfect Puzzle is going to be was based off of it going forward. Which means, I guess, Parad is technically Knockout Fighter Bugster before he co-opted Perfect Puzzle into himself. I don't know. I'm assuming it's Knockout Fighter because Emu played Tekken back in the day. And I assume Game Corporation had their own fighting game. So Emu probably played that a whole bunch, which is what birthed Parad as Knockout Fighter's Bugster. And when Perfect Puzzle came, he adopted that, or he, like, I guess, infused himself into that, I guess. So he became the Bugster for both. I don't know. I'm kind of running with it here.
Well, I'm slightly confused off of that whole concept too.
Yeah.
Because, correct me if I'm wrong, but haven't we also had references that Emu's Bugster is correlated to the game idea that he sent Gim to begin with?
I think that's the original concept, but now the Bugster is Parad. And okay, look, there's a whole confusing situation with fucking Genius Gamer M and who the fuck Genius Gamer M, whether it is Parad or not or something. I don't know. It's confusing. All I know is I'm going to call it here and now that tomorrow, when X8 goes live, I'm willing to bet money Kronos is just the Kamen Rider Chronicle Bugster. He's not an actual person. I am willing to bet money on that. Because the shot we see him in, everyone's accounted for, I believe. So he's not a current cast member, and I don't think they're bringing anyone else up to the main cast for him. So I'm willing to bet that Kronos is Chronicles Bugster. Because every game we've gotten so far has had a Bugster. Every game that's had a gas hat has had a Bugster.
Except for Chronicle.
Right. And the thing that's correlated all of the Bugsters is that they're on, outside of the main hero ones, is that they're on the gas hat themselves. And I am willing to bet that Kronos is the Bugster because he's on the gas hat. He's on the fucking box art in that little fancy box that comes in. Like, that's why we've not seen pictures of him or seen pictures of who's behind the suit or teases of who is Kronos, because no one is Kronos, because Kronos is Kronos. He's a Bugster.
That would also explain why the design for Kronos is so bizarre compared to the others too.
Yeah.
Because he kind of follows with max level Paradox.
Mm-hmm.
With the whole just amalgamation of everything kind of deal.
Yep. And it explains why I forgot who it was behind the scenes of X8, but they said that Poppy is the first rider with her own belt. Which sounds odd because we knew about Kronos at the time. So why would they say she has her own belt if she's going to be sharing that belt with Kronos? Well, it's because Kronos isn't a rider, because he technically isn't. There is no one behind the belt of Kronos because that's just how he's designed.
Well, and Kronos kind of sounds close enough to work.
Yeah. I am willing to bet money that Kronos is a bugster. I mean, it would make perfect sense too. Like, why would someone on the existing cast be Kronos, who is supposed to be like the last, the
Well,
last person to challenge in Chronicle?
well, let's add to this also. Okay, Poppy recently got her form.
Mm-hmm.
There's no reason for Nico to actually have a form.
Yeah.
Emu has his max level form already, so there's not really anything higher than that.
Yeah, the only thing he's getting is Muteki next month, most likely.
Both Brave and Snipe can go to level 50 anytime they wish now.
Yep, and I believe Brave is getting technically a level 100 form with Tato Legacy in the next couple of months, according to the toy scans.
And Gim is locked in his level 0 form.
Yes. But I guess he can access level X abilities now that he has Dangerous Zombie.
So why would any of them need another form?
Yeah. And according to set photos, Kyria is coming back. Or at least some form of laser is coming back because we are seeing a laser-esque form on set. It's not lining up with the humanoid laser form we've seen before, but it could be a new form for laser, which suggests Kyria coming back. And considering the whole situation with the save data of people who get game overs, it's entirely possible Kyria is coming back. Of course,
But
my
okay,
question.
if it's some form, could it possibly be a manipulation from Kronos?
It would have to be a full manipulation because this is like we see the back head of Laser and everything. It's a whole new suit for Laser. So I doubt it's a manipulation form from Kronos, I think. Of course, I have to throw in this could be filming for the movie because it should be filming at this point, I would think. Or at least some filming. And Kyria is featured prominently in the ads for that movie, even though he's dead, and this is supposed to be the true ending of X-Aid. I derped on words there. This is supposed to be the true ending of X-Aid, and
But
Kyria is
okay,
supposed to be there.
but if Gim is correct on that and their save data is just kind of sitting somewhere, then he could come back for the true end.
Yeah. It makes me wonder if those on-set shots are for the movie or for the show, or for both at this point. Since we don't know where the cutoff is or where the divergence is going to be for the movie.
It's going to be sometime after Kronos.
I would be surprised if it's sometime after Muteki.
Well, the reason I say it's got to be sometime after Kronos is because I'm willing to bet Kronos has some kind of time manipulation powers.
He has the ability to pause time, at least.
Meaning, if it's more than just the ability to pause time, he could be the cause of the split, making the two separate endings for the show. So, I'm willing to bet it's gonna, at the earliest, the split will wind up after this week's episode. At the earliest.
Yeah.
Meaning, yeah, he's non-existent at the moment.
Yeah, I wonder how we're pulling Kronos in here, because it seems to be like we're building up to some big, like, multi-writer battle in this episode. And I would be surprised if the end of the episode is Kronos showing up and pausing the battle. And then whipping everybody's ass. Or at least whipping all the writers' asses and, like,
I
siding
think
with the
everyone.
Bugsters.
I think everyone.
Oh, that would certainly complicate the show.
Because I wouldn't be I wouldn't be too surprised if Kronos wasn't gonna wind up being final villain.
If Kronos is not final villain, I will honestly be surprised.
Like, realistically, I feel like it should be Paradox, but at the same time, I'm like, Emu kind of can beat him.
Mm-hmm.
He ain't gonna last.
Yeah.
I
It kind of
wouldn't be
depends.
surprised if Paradox is done this week.
Yeah.
And probably to the hands of Kronos.
Mm-hmm. If Paradox is going to be final villain, it would have to be a situation that happened in Wizard, where like Wise Man, or in this case Kronos, got taken out a couple episodes before finale, and the final showdown between Emu and Paradox's last episode. That's the
But
only way this is going to work.
but I feel like they've done blew that option
Mm-hmm.
because of the fact of them already coming to blows.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like if that was gonna happen, then the whole Paradox being Emu's Bugster should have been something to wait till then
Yeah.
and kind of have all this happen just like quick succession at the end of the show.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't see that being the thing.
Yeah. Although I have to agree with Shinta in his weekly recap of the show. I love that we have a villain that the heroes aren't explicitly forgiving, but are willing to work with. But they are acknowledging the fact that no one likes you. And no one here is going to like you any point after we get done working together. You are not forgiven for
Yeah.
everything, all the bullshit you've done. It's like, where was this in Arc 5 with Rayo? Where everyone was just like, Rayo, it's okay. We understand why you pulled all of this bullshit to bring back your daughter and ruined 6 people's lives in the process that are irreparably ruined because of your bullshit. 8 lives, consider, depending on how fucking traumatic or how much trauma Yuya and Yuzu have after everything that happened. Like, I still like think someone sort of like punched Rayo right in the face. Because fuck me, that just is more Arc 5 stuff. Anyway, Dobby, you're quick draw since we spent a long time discussing X8 with mine.
Well, mine is the other thing that we talked about, and I'm just gonna kind of let the trailer play in the background. But
Yeah.
we got uh information about the single player in Splatoon 2.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how to feel about it.
Have you been following the Squid Sister story on the website?
I've seen bits and pieces of it. Like, I've not sat down and looked at the whole thing.
Okay, essentially, Great Zapfish, missing.
Again.
Yep. Forgot his name. Main guy that recruited you last game?
Oh, Captain Cuttlefish.
Yep, he is missing too. And no, Callie is missing as well. Like those 3 people, like Great Zapfish, Scuttlefish, and Callie, they're all missing. And Marie is just like, shit. I need help to figure out what the fuck's going on. So that's why she's recruiting you.
Well, I'm curious on how much of an emphasis on missing for Callie is.
Okay, Marie knows she's missing because she was supposed to meet her. She was supposed to come by their hometown by train, and she never arrived on her train.
Well, there's a certain silhouette that we see at the end that resembles Callie a little too much
Yeah.
for my liking, and it's like,
Yeah, I think I saw. It might have been Game Explain might have had a video on it.
And apparently, the final Splatfest possibly could have played a part in this.
Yeah, the Squid Sister stories talk about that, how there's a little bit of divide between the sisters, a little bit, but it seemed okay for the most part.
I think there's a little bit more than meets the eye with that.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised there is, but
Because literally last part of that trailer.
mm-hmm.
That upper silhouette.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Methinks we've got a bigger story.
Well, it's only set up. It's only just supposed to tell us, like, yeah, Callie's missing, but is she really missing? And bear in mind, Callie was the one who lost the Splatfest.
Yep. Now, the problem I'm having right now, and I know it's still early for it, but we're not really seeing how they've improved the single player part of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's all been the multiplayer side of it. Splatoon was weaker on the story side of it, not the multiplayer side of it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they need to figure out how to balance and make sure they're right on that.
Yeah.
But that's just me.
Yeah, the Splatoon could use a really good single player, especially if we're focusing on, especially if we're going to build a this very personal story with the Squid Sisters,
Yeah.
who are the only real characters we have. Or the characters we most know in the Splatoon universe, I feel like. Since they are constantly around for us, besides they're constantly around no matter what you're playing, is that what, multiplayer? Or except for not multiplayer, except for like Judge?
Yeah.
So hopefully it's good. Although I would be surprised. It's like, oh yeah, the Octolings kidnapped Callie and turned her into final boss through mind control, which mind control plots involving female protagonists, I think, has become a new thing for me now because of Arc 5.
I don't think it's that. I don't something's making me feel like it's not a mind control situation.
Mm.
Like perhaps it's maybe a bit of jealousy.
That would be possible.
Because I mean, in all fairness, the new game mode that Splatoon 2 has kind of shows that they're maybe moving a little bit away from the Octolings and kind of willing to open up to different varieties of enemy types.
That'd be nice.
Because remember Salmon Run?
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't Octolings.
Well, yeah.
Meaning that perhaps there's more to this. But I don't know. We'll find out.
We got 2 months. Wait. I'll be sure to watch someone who's going to string the single player of it and see how it goes. But anything else?
Nope.
I still haven't watched anything of Q Ranger. I still haven't watched a single another episode of Q Ranger because I honestly don't care. That's what happens when I really don't like a show early on. I just drop it outright and I don't care. Like, that's probably what's going to happen to Ray. It's like, yeah, we did something this episode, but that doesn't mean she's going to be, like, a good character the whole show. Yuzu did good stuff season 1, and well, look how things turned out. Yeah, I'm salty as fuck about Arc 5. I will never probably not be salty about Arc 5. That will always be a fucking punching bag for me. That end of Arc 5. Well, did you get to catch my really terrible joke for Kingdom Hearts 2 today?
I kind of tuned in late, so probably not.
Oh, it was in Hall Bastion.
Then I may not have paid much attention. I don't remember.
Okay, it was about Eris, someone in the YouTube chat.
Oh, yeah, I caught that.
Yeah.
I started to say something in the chat, and then I'm like, nope.
Yeah, someone was like, yeah, Eris's voice actor sucks. And I'm like, yeah, she was really phoning it in. And then I thought of really terrible jokes that involved death and her voice acting being terrible. And I'm like, God, there are too many jokes here. And I just popped off the one I could sound out, which was, well, she sounds a bit lifeless. And then I thought of another one of, oh, she could use a bit of a pat on the back. There's too many terrible. That is the one that sneaks up on you, to be honest. There are too many terrible jokes you could do with Eris's voice acting in Kingdom Hearts 2 of just like, yeah, it's bad.
Was it bad that I hated most of the voice acting in that scene too?
From all of the Final Fantasy characters, or at the entire everyone in the scene?
All the Final Fantasy characters.
Probably. Yeah, I don't think anyone from the Final Fantasy cast does that good of a job. Like, Cloud is very monotone, just...
That wasn't Cloud.
I know, but Cloud's also in the game, and I remember his voice acting.
Yeah.
He's about on par with Squall. AKA Leon, because name change for a reason? I don't know. To be fair, you only got to suffer through Cloud and Tifa for a couple cutscenes more, and that's really it. And Tifa has like 3 lines, and that's it. Although she does have one cool moment where she's trying to find Cloud and is looking through an office and ends up punching a wall because she's not happy and just walks away. Also, first time Tifa's in the game, and much like the rest of the 7 cast, she's in her Advent Children garb. Because we got to promote that movie. Because bear in mind, Kingdom Hearts 2 came out right around Advent Children. Which is why Yuffie's in her 7 garb. Aerith is in her 7 dress that she shows up in for 5 seconds in that movie, I believe. Sid, I think, is in his 7 garb, even though I don't think it's that different. Or is in his Advent Children garb, even though it's not that different. Tifa's definitely in her 7 outfit. Cloud's definitely in his 7 outfit for, like, no reason. Oh, wait, I forgot that you have the 3 characters from 10-2. Yuna, Riku, and Pain. They're also in the game. They're fairies, I think. I forgot what they were. They show up for like 2 cutscenes. They're also here because we got to promote 10-2 as well, I think. Don't you love it with Final Fantasy characters from the same game and how confusing their placement in this universe is? Because
Yeah.
Titus and Waka, little children on the island. Yuna, fucking fairy with her partners from 10-2, and they're working for Maleficent? Uh-huh. Like, it makes no goddamn sense. I think they just throw Final Fantasy characters wherever the fuck they feel like.
Probably.
It's also with Leon and Cypher, because Cypher's from 8 as well. And he's like younger than Leon, and they're supposed to be rivals. It's just like, what the fuck?
But that. Nope, not gonna try.
Of course, then there's the thing about Diz's mask that I've noticed, or Diz's outfit that I've noticed about who he is and what he looks like in his outfit, and I'm like, wait a minute. This might be terrible of me to point out when it happens, but it's true.
Oh god.
You'll see when we get there. Also, everyone calling themselves handsome when spoilers, none of them are handsome. Here's the thing. Everyone who calls himself handsome in the Kingdom Hearts series is not handsome. The person who really is handsome never says he's handsome. Because, spoilers, Seeker Handsome isn't handsome. Xemnas isn't handsome, even though he is supposed to be Seeker Handsome's nobody, because if you haven't figured it out by now, all of the nobodies are their real names rearranged with an X in them.
Yeah.
Yeah, Xemnas isn't handsome either. Nor is the fucking handsome working with Diz. I don't want to spoil who that is. even although I'm sure someone has figured it out by now. If you've watched. I'm sure you figured out who that is. But yeah, he's not handsome either. Yeah, no one who calls himself handsome is handsome. No one. What's worse, Mickey knows who the real handsome is, and he's not correcting anyone till like some point later in this game. It's like, look, you idiots, that isn't handsome. I know who handsome is, and it's not this asshole. It's literally not this asshole. Granted, Mickey does a whole lot of not explaining things when he should be explaining them. I don't know what it is about that mouse, but he just doesn't want to explain everything that he's involved with. But you'll find out more about that when we get to Birth by Sleep and go, wait a minute, Mickey knows about all this and he's never told anyone about it? What? But yeah, that'll be tomorrow at 9, hopefully. We'll get through more Kingdom Hearts. Hopefully we'll make it through Disney Castle. That I'm hoping we'll make it through at least Disney Castle. If not, just Olympus Coliseum. Depends on how long those two worlds go. But anything else?
Nope.
All right, check out the stuff down top or up top or down bottom. Yeah. The site. Up top. The site, the YouTube, and the Twitch, and the Twitter. All the stuff for updates and other videos and all sorts of wonderfulness. And I'll see you tomorrow for more Kingdom Hearts 2. And we'll see you in 2 weeks for more game news stuff, as we'll have our E3 predictions and E3 say things that we want to happen but are never going to happen at E3, because that's how it is every year.
Yep.
See you then, folks.